going on, guys? Cruzin Podcast. Welcome back. So we got to see this week the Avatar Rereleased in IMAX 3D. And with that, we actually saw some a special look into Avatar 2, The Way of Water, which we want to talk about as well. I got to say, I haven't seen this since 2009.
No,
so
this is my first time seeing it in a theater.
It was your first time seeing it in a theater? That's right. Yeah, because you were, what, 9? You were 9.
I was 9.
You were 9. And I was in middle school. I'm 25 now.
The only thing I remember was we were waiting for you guys to finish the movie, and we walked in, and it was the part of her yelling at him.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
It wasn't even over yet.
No, but it was it was
when he's telling her the truth, the Nateri and stuff.
Yeah, no, when the dad dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like that one, like that part, and that was the only thing I saw in the theater of that, and then we left after. Because we were waiting for you.
It was great. I saw it.
But I never seen it in theater.
And rewatching it, we got to see an IMAX 3D at AMC. Shout out to AMC. Best theater out there to do it. In IMAX 3D, we were never a fan of 3D. We never really got to see... Well, you never saw it at all. I never got to see it in IMAX or anything. We are going to watch it again in the laser big IMAX in Fort Lauderdale.
I think the last movie I watched in 3D... I think it was like Need for Speed or something. Like
all the other movies are shit in 3D, and this movie, it really is a whole different experience because this was remastered, it was touched up, and they added a small little. We'll get into that later, but a small little clip, which was whatever. But I gotta say, man, this movie. I mean, it looks beautiful. It surpasses, I think, any. Look, we saw Thor: Love and Thunder. We saw these heavy CG movies, and this movie still looks better. Looks better.
Yeah,
and this came out in 2009. Okay, the movie is great, right? It is what it is. But watching it in IMAX
3D,
mind you, and it's making money. It was top 3 in the box office. Okay, our theater was pretty packed. A lot of talking, but packed. But that 3D, It was different, because I never saw it before, and it was 3D in a way I've never experienced before. I was like, oh, this is actually good, and I don't want to say it felt like being in a ride or something, but it felt like an experience, because the way the 3D was, I felt like just more in it, immersed in the world, and there was and I know in this film they also toyed around with a high frame rate because 2 is going to have that as well. What I liked how they used it here, besides the movie looks beautiful. I mean, in IMAX, that you already know, right? That's a given. But the 3D was really good. There was shots, especially with the high frame rate, where there's a plant, there's a tree here and a tree here in the foreground. And then the subject, Nateri or whatever. And I literally felt like I was peeking through the trees. Because the whole point of the shot, it feels like something's looking through the tree or you're kind of walking through the tree with her. And I literally felt I was like, wait, I feel like if I'm being closed in by these 2 plants, and I felt you just feel more immersed. And I was like, oh, this is what 3D, good 3D is. And James Cameron always said it, when 3D is done right, how I've done it, it's a great movie theater experience, which he's right. But it was just really well done, man.
Just some knobby ass,
and it's nice to, and it's nice to see, and it's nice to see young kids now coming to see. It's a perfect marketing move for what they're doing, because you're not only bringing back old fans to remind them of why you're excited for the second one, but you're also introducing a new fandom of kids that are going to see this movie for the first time in theaters with their family, and you got the second one coming out in a couple months.
Can we talk about the footage of part 2?
Yes, and we're going to get into that now.
I'm dying to talk about it.
But I just wanted to get that across. If you haven't seen it yet, go. It's an experience. A movie. I'm so glad. I love the idea that they took their time to remaster this, restore it. Just enhance it a little bit and just put it out there, and it just looked great. And it's some of the best 3D. It's the only good 3D I've seen, and it made me more excited for the second one. It did. Watching it, I'm like, okay, and part 2 is right around the corner, and now we're gonna get there's a new wave of fans of young kids that are gonna see this for the first time, and they're gonna be like, oh my, and the second one's right around the corner, and it's making money. It's top 3 in the box office. And there is because they said there's extra footage to set up the sequel. It's just one scene.
It was really funny.
I found it kind of like on the
Comedic,
nose. It was
yeah.
kind of stupid, but it's fine. I get why they did it. Like for the average person,
it was the way he walked up to him and like he was like
you could see
"It's
why
not over."
you can see why it was
Like,
cut.
come on.
You can see why it was cut from the beginning,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you don't need this in the movie, but it's literally just Giovanni Ribisi's character. I forgot it. What's the corporate guy that's like the unobtainium, you know. It's him like when they're leaving the planet and they lost, and it's Jake Sully giving the narration or whatever. But then it's like the movie stops for a second, and it's him walking up to Jake Sully like.
But it was the way he walked. He was like,
the Terry was gonna stop him. He's like, no, it's okay, and he goes, this isn't over. And then it just cuts back to him walking, and then the movie keeps going. Like, and then Jake Sully's like, now they're gone. And it just felt like really out of place. It didn't match at all. But I get it. The average person, you're like, oh, it's not over. It's like, we know the sequel's coming out. You don't have to do this. Like, it's coming out in a few months.
yeah.
That was it. I thought it was gonna be more footage, but no, that was it. And then great fucking.
And I think the flying scene was like extended.
I'm okay with that.
I think so, something like that.
I don't know, but it was great, and it was a great experience. We are gonna watch it again in that IMAX.
I just want to see the footage again.
Yes. Did you have anything you wanted to say about? I mean, it kind of sums it up,
Yeah,
but
like the movie's great.
Yeah.
Like I love the movie. So like.
but
yeah,
I know you really want to talk about the.
No.
So like mid credits, they show a sneak peek to Avatar: Way of the Water
God.
in IMAX 3D. So
I'm gonna go overhyped. I don't give a shit. Like I don't get hyped for anything.
yeah.
You don't understand. Like I was like, dude, I want this movie now. Like give it to me now.
And remember you were saying earlier, I think we talked about on the podcast, you're like, why hasn't there been another trailer? Why didn't they show at D23? This is their way of hyping up the movie, right? You get the re-release, you show footage, people are excited, and it says it, and it didn't take that long. Like, if you're leaving right after the credits, like, dude, relax. Like, settle down. Yeah. I think it's for, like, the fans who waited. Here's a little something. And I think it's just their way of, like, hyping it up, but also I feel like another trailer's going to come out real soon. That's going to be the big push, but...
No. But that footage, I can't even, like, explain... Like,
it gives a whole new meaning to IMAX 3D.
No,
it really does.
Like yeah, that, but how good it looked. Like you don't understand how good that footage
it shows
looked.
how good visual effects
when
can
you
be.
don't overwork your VFX artist and you pay them well, like
and you give them enough time to work
time.
on the product. Yeah.
No, but like right when it just starts, I was like, oh,
it's almost like the movie has
but the thing is, you just finished part 1, which looks great, but you just see the instant difference of like, oh yeah, this is why it took 10 years.
And it gives you that. It's the perfect way of hyping up the movie because you just again like you watch the first one, right? It's over 10 years old. Crazy that it's over 10 years old and it looks how it looks. And then they're just like, boom, here's footage of the second one. You're like, oh my god, like.
It's a massive.
You
difference.
see and it looks beautiful. It's the scene with the sun with the whale. And that was one of my favorite parts from the trailer with him with the whale. So we got to get some footage of that.
No, but that was...
It was probably like over 5 minutes or so.
It was like 5 minutes.
And, I mean, the visual effects is beautiful. The camera work, the 3D, because that is a big thing.
But this... Dude, this movie shows that fucking Aquaman... You thought, like, the underwater shit and that... No. Like this showed a whole underwater sequence,
with
and
the
that
whale,
blows it out of the water all the way. Like,
and how seamlessly, it's crazy to think that they're just in a water tank, right? Like that's all CG, like motion, but like with new technology, right? Like that again when you're innovative.
Weta was Weta, right?
Weta, yeah.
Weta made new tech for this movie that they already put it on their website of all the new tech that they have done.
You see the actors with the mocap suits working underwater. They all trained to hold their breath underwater.
The water was filled with dots, like it was crazy.
And you see it like with the camera work, him going up and down under the water.
Like James Cameron, like this guy's a madman. Like this guy's a madman. Like what is it? He has a submarine, right?
He did
that. He studied underwater.
I think he built a submarine or something crazy to go at certain depth.
But he studied, right? Like he really.
Oh yeah. He did documentaries and stuff.
Yeah, but like imagine like all that knowledge that he knows of and he's just applying that to his movie.
And you can really see.
I love the camera work. The camera work.
I like what he's doing with the world too. Like the first one was about the forest. This is gonna be more about the water, right? Like the whale had the anchor stuck on its on its fin, and he's helping it. Like, this is gonna be more of the story of them in the water.
Tudyk or Tardik or whatever.
And I love that. I love what he's doing with the world, and I mean the vision, like the CG of the kid. I mean, the opening shot, right? It's just him I think he was on the whale, and it looks. And with the 3D, you're seeing how clear and sharp it looks, but it's like in your face, and you're like, holy shit!
But the amount of detail, like, because half his body's in the water and half is on top of the whale. So like you see,
but the drip of the water,
but like you see, like when he takes his hand out of the water, it's dripping water. Yeah, like remember, that's detail that you don't see. People who went and were talking about the footage, saying that it makes you think that this is like a real world.
Real, yeah. Because the 3D adds to that.
Even the part when he goes underwater, the camera work was amazing. Like, because like as he's laying on top of the whale, it's like slight waves, but as the waves, every time the waves hit him, the camera goes up, it goes underwater, and then it like goes back. So it's kind of like, especially like with the like 3D, it shows
you're in it.
It feels like we're on some sort of raft and we're watching him do that. And that's what it feels like.
And you're immersed.
Yeah, like you're so immersed.
And that's why I think that's why he's so big on the. I get what he means with the 3D.
And the high frame rate was great too. Like the whole high frame rate sequence when the whale was swimming and stuff. Like.
And I don't know if the whole movie's gonna be high frame rate or if it's sequences.
It's sequences. Like
that works.
Yeah,
that works because, with the re-release, or even here, I noticed when it was high frame rate, it's like with certain movements or certain actions,
like fast movements.
Because in the first film, I was like, okay, this is high frame rate. I see why he's using it here.
Just like goes up
and I see why he's using it. And then here too, everything is normal, and then you can see the high frame rate with the certain stuff with the whale or when they're, but it just looks so crisp, and it's not like, it just looks fucking great. Like it looks too real, and then the fact that we're seeing it in IMAX and in the 3D, I see what he means. Why he wants people to see it. Because it officially, like, it just adds this extra layer. So when he's with the whale, like, you don't feel like you're out of it watching it. Now you feel like you're in it. Like what you're saying with the water. Now I feel like I'm in the water with this kid, with the whale, and when he's on it. The opening shot is him laying on the whale when it's breathing.
The camera is very natural. It's very natural. Like, it's hard to, like, that's why it's so hard to, like, explain. Like, you have to just watch it, and you see, like...
It's like borderline VR.
Yeah.
But, like, without the weirdness to it. But... Watching the re-release, I was like, this is like borderline VR, like with the plants, like right here. Because I caught myself like being like, but the camera's guiding you where to look, But it's like borderline. That's how immersed I kind of felt.
And then like when he goes underwater, he gets the anchor out. When he goes back up, you see like him drenched in water.
Looks real,
and the detail,
And then you
so
look at
crazy.
like an Aquaman or even it's too judged to tell, right? But the footage of the Little Mermaid, like when she's underwater.
You can't tell.
It just looks like a person, and then it's just like, oh look, and when you see this, you're like, holy shit, And not only that, you have a mocap suit it's a kid, but he's supposed to be a blue Na'vi, so he's like this alien.
And I love that shot when he's like swimming with the whale, and then like he's like touching the water, and then like the ending of the shot is it's like him floating up.
Yeah.
And then it's like the whale like taking out his fin, so like, and he helps.
Their bond and
it's
stuff.
It's like that bond, and it was just.
It's gonna be great.
Just watch that. Like, just watch
and
it. And
you know what's awesome?
Footage.
We're gonna be able to see that footage again in the bigger IMAX screen.
I know.
We gotta see when we can go.
In this weekend or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Friday or something. We go Friday.
If we can catch an early one on Friday,
like
probably. Yeah, something early.
No, but oh God,
it's great.
Like no, but
go watch this if you haven't already. Watch for the film and also for the extra footage.
I don't get really excited for much anymore.
The trailer was great. The first trailer.
Yeah.
We saw it like a bunch of times.
This I am like.
We got a taste of what it looks like in theaters.
I'm gonna be like one of those shills. Like I'm like all in. I want this movie now. I can't wait.
Yeah,
like,
it's not even being a shill at that point. It's like you have faith in the movie.
Yeah,
like
I'm really like this movie. If this movie fails, like if the movie's not good, like I would be so devastated. Because I've been waiting for this. But the
I'm willing to
it's James Cameron.
take that risk. Yeah.
I never doubt that guy. That guy is fucking.
Yeah.
What he's doing is Hollywood. Take notes. This is what you should be fucking doing.
He's innovating.
And this is why
he's always innovating.
Look, Marvel, as great as it was, look, I want new shit, and this is what this is. Like this is a new thing.
It's
a new world,
It's innovative. It's awesome,
and it just shows like
he's pushing the boundaries.
What sucks too, like that 5-minute clip is like, damn, we can have movies that look like this.
This is where we could be. And that's what I like about James Cameron. He's constantly pushing the stakes. Like, this is where we could go, and he's creating new technology to get there. And this movie's going to showcase that. And what's going to happen is when this movie comes out, and people realize, oh shit, this is what we can do.
Hollywood's gonna be like, oh wait a minute,
we got to raise the bar here.
Especially like Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm sorry, that movie looks like dog shit.
Yeah.
That like the CGI movie is dog shit.
People like a James Cameron, Tom Cruise with what he's doing, just stunt wise,
James Cameron and Tom Cruise are literally saving like movie
Chris
theaters.
Nolan
and Nolan and yeah.
These old school guys,
the Dune, what's his name?
Denis Villeneuve,
Denis.
All these old school big film guys, that are trying to keep theaters alive, but also raising the bar. They're showcasing that. It's I can't. It's awesome. It's awesome. I mean, if you haven't, go watch it. It's still out and enjoy it. Try to find the biggest screen possible. And watch it. Stay for the mid credits for the extra footage. It's really cool, and we couldn't recommend it. We're gonna watch it again probably this weekend. So, yeah, guys, that's all we got. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know. Did you see the footage? Did you see Avatar? Are you a fan? Let us know in the comments. And till the next one. Goodbye.